Welcome back. Now we will continue our session. This is the third lecture of first unit. We will continue our lecture with the bulk modulus. When a body is subjected to three mutually perpendicular stresses of equal intensity, the ratio of direct stress to normal stress to the corresponding volumetric strain is known as bulk modulus. Now, the bulk modulus is given by the formula the bulk modulus is given by stress by normal stress divided by volumetric strain. So, when a body is subjected to three mutually perpendicular stresses, you are having three mutually perpendicular stresses for stresses of equal intensity. The ratio of direct stress or normal stress to the corresponding volumetric strain. It's not volumetric, it is not stress, it is volumetric strain. Normal stress to volumetric strain is bulk modulus or volume modulus of elasticity. And what about the units of it? The units are like sigma units only, the stress units, because change in volume by original volume, say if it is in meter cube divided by meter cube gives cancel, and we have delta V by V only. The new denominator has no units, whereas this numerator sigma, it is stress force per area, Newton per mm square or meter square, or it can be a Pascal, megapascal, gigapascal, or it can be a kilopascal. So this bulk modulus is given by sigma by change in volume divided by volume. Next, the volumetric strain dilation, we call it as dilation. The volumetric strain is epsilon V. When a member is subjected to stresses, it undergoes deformation in all directions. When a member or when an object is subjected to, it can be a uniaxial load, biaxial load, or triaxial load. Any of the loads, any number of loads that may act on a body. The that will cause change in dimensions, that will lead to strains. So the volumetric strain is given by epsilon V is equals to del V by V. It is also given by in general, so it is also given by epsilon V is equals to epsilon X plus epsilon Y plus epsilon Z. So for an ideal elastic incompressible material, the volumetric strain is 0. What does it mean? If the object, given object, is incompressible, we cannot compress it, so we cannot change the dimensions of it. So when we cannot change the dimensions, so from where do we get this epsilon strain? We won't get the strain. So that is what the note is explaining about. It is 0. It says that it is 0. The most important topic of the first unit, we are entering into it, that is volumetric strain of a rectangular body subjected to uniaxial load. From general equation for volumetric strain, we have epsilon V is equals to epsilon X plus epsilon Y plus epsilon Z. This is the strains in X, Y, Z directions. The volumetric strain epsilon V, the overall strain is equals to the sum of strains in all the directions. Okay, before we enter into the derivation or this numerical part, we will see what is this the body, the rectangular body subjected to uniaxial load, the volumetric strain of a body, what he is speaking. That is what we will discuss now. Now the volumetric strain of a rectangular body means the rectangular body, here he has considered a cuboid, a rectangular cuboid of dimensions length, breadth and height. So uniaxial load, it is Px. Here the P is the load, it is a tensile load which is acting along the direction in the norm or parallel to x axis, or it is perpendicular to this z and y plane. For the plane formed by the other axis, this load, the applied load is normal, or it is parallel to any one of the axes. So if a load parallel to any one of the axes and perpendicular to the plane formed by the other two axes is called as a uniaxial load. Now this uniaxial load Px, because of this Px, and it develops sigma x, we call it as a primary normal stress. And this normal stress, because of this normal stress, it will induce a primary strain in it. Primary strain. Primary strain, not only the primary, you will be having lateral strains. You will find the changes in the dimensions, that is D and H. You will find the changes in the dimensions. All the dimensions will get changed within elastic limits. If the load is applied within elastic limits, all the dimensions will change. And now so this is what is the situation. Now what is then coming to this numerical and understanding. So epsilon V, what is the volumetric strain, change in volume by overall volume, actual volume? What is that epsilon V is we are going to discuss now. The volumetric strain epsilon V is epsilon x plus epsilon y plus epsilon z. So if we are able to find expression for these three, then after adding them 1, 2, 3, and we will get a final expression, whatever it is. Now epsilon x, sigma x by E. What is epsilon x? Actually epsilon x is a primary, direct, linear or longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain or primary strain in the direction of the applied load, that is Px. So it is sigma x by E. So from where we get the sigma x by E? For Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity, we are having a formula E is equals to stress by strain, sigma x by epsilon. So epsilon is equal to sigma by E. This is first equation. Next, what about epsilon y and epsilon z? They are the lateral strains along y axis due to sigma x. Due to this Px, the load applied, the tensile load applied, we will find the changes in lateral dimensions, that is h and b. So the lateral dimensional changes, how we are going to make use of it? We should remember Poisson's ratio. Mu is equals to 1 by m is equals to minus of lateral strain by longitudinal strain. Then lateral strain is what we require. Lateral strain is equals to minus of mu into longitudinal strain. What is longitudinal strain? It is E, sigma x by E. Substitute sigma x by E and we get the lateral strain epsilon y is equals to minus of mu, Poisson's ratio, into sigma x by E, capital E. Now epsilon z is also a long lateral strain. Same formula is used here. Same thing, we get minus of mu into sigma x by E, that is the third equation. When you add epsilon x, epsilon y and epsilon z, we get the expression sigma x by E minus mu sigma x by E minus mu sigma x by E. Take sigma x by E, or we call this as epsilon x into, this is 2 times, so 1 minus 2 mu. Therefore epsilon v expression is given. It is also termed as epsilon x into 1 minus 2 mu is equals to del L by L. Epsilon x means change in length by original length, because it is a primary strain. So into 1 minus 2. It is also equal to del L by L into 1 minus 2 by M. Here a note is given. The above formula holds good for the compressive force also. It holds good for the compressive force. Here we have taken a tensile force, tensile load. If it is a compressive load, the result is same. The final result is when a body is subjected to uniaxial load, then epsilon V is given by sigma x by E into 1 minus 2 mu. The change in, the volumetric strain is equals to change in volume by volume is equals to sigma x by E into 1 minus 2 mu.